You've got to hold and give and do it at the right time, and the right time is now to do an FPL showdown that will last for the entirety of the 2023-2024 Premier League campaign. Who will come out on top between me, Ross, Tweddell and her, Kayla North? Come back in 9 months and find out. Kayla, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm delightful. Well, I was delightful before game week 1 of FPL. Of course, Helen Lascelles didn't do very well at all. The average score for the entire game was 64 points. I got 66. How did you do?
65.
Oh,
so
it could be worse.
It was close.
It could be worse.
You just went ahead.
I'm better than you. And you know it. Anyway, we're going to run through our teams because obviously you don't know what teams we've picked. And then we're going to look forward to game week 2 and tell you what transfers we're going to make. I'll kick things off, Kayla, by telling you I put Onana in net because I think he suits the way that Eric Ten Hag likes to play football. As me watch tells it's time to go to bed. Bloody hell. That's what time we're in the studio. So I think just the way that Onana plays obviously suits the way that Eric Ten Hag wants to play. It wasn't the best start at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. In fact, Wolves should have at least got a point. Of course, they got robbed by the penalty decision at the end of the game as well. But obviously, Man United had the most clean sheets last season with David De Gea in net. Onana is a clear step up from De Gea. So I think Onana makes sense there. I went with a back three of Trent, who didn't do too well. He didn't do too much, to be fair, in the game against Chelsea. Trippier and Botman. Botman get me 5 points because Zinchenko, he didn't play. I put Zinchenko in there. I was having kittens when he didn't start. Botman started. He went in there. And then Trippier just speaks for himself. Only got 2 points on the weekend, but I think he's going to pay dividends by the end because he loves an assist, doesn't he? On the midfield, I had 4 of them. Justin Kluivert was my wild card pick, thinking, I'm going to be trying to get a little differential in there compared to everybody else. Nobody else has picked Justin Kluivert. He was on the bench. He got 1 point. Bukayo Saka picks himself. He scored an absolute worldie. A bender in the top corner. Bruno Fernandes I picked because of his set-piece stuff. He's on pens, he's on corners, he's on free kicks. He does everything for Manchester United, but he only got 3 points.
Nightmare.
It is a nightmare. And I rounded off midfield with Eze from Crystal Palace, but he only got 3 points. Diaby from Aston Villa was on me bench with 7 points. I think he might be in the starting 11 this time because of one. Aston Villa were pretty bad, I thought, against Newcastle. They got beat 5-1. Yes, they did have a fair amount of the ball early on, but he was the bright spark of a 5-1 defeat. Let's remind ourselves of Alex Ferguson. Ferguson was like, Newcastle got very lucky. Newcastle got lucky when winning 5-1. Shut up, Fergie, you old whiskey nose. And then I put up front Ferguson of Brighton. Speaks for itself. Cheap. He got a goal against Luton. Haaland was the skipper with 26 points. Speaks for itself. And then Jackson, who looked lively in pre-season. He looked lively against Liverpool, but the ball just kept dropping a couple of yards away from him, which was annoying. But there we go. That's how my team went in game week 1. What did you do, Michaeli?
I think it's worth knowing that we do have some similarities, but neither of us knew what each other's team was, so that's just mere coincidence. I also had Onana in goal. Just thought it was a wise decision, with them playing Wolves. I thought it made sense, and obviously came out of it with 9 points, so can't be bad. And my goalie on my bench has an injury and is not going to be about.
You shouldn't have picked him anyway. He never plays. No, but I was like, when you just want to make up a good team and you think, I can go for like a good goalie and then a kind of, like he's never
there.
plays. Never gets you any points.
Then in my defence, I have got Trippier, Mings, Tomiyasu and Botman. So Trippier, like you said, speaks for itself, really. I mean, I'd be silly not to put him in. I had him last season, got some really good points for him, so it made sense. Botman, same, really good week, 5 points. Tomiyasu just didn't
start the game against
exactly.
Forest at home. He came off the bench when there was an injury to what's his face, Timber. He down. He went.
That's accurate. So that's just a mere 1 point there, and then obviously Mings, sad to see what happened. Obviously, so there's 0 points there. So hopefully he's better soon. Looked like a nasty.
But it's not going to be soon. It's going to be a while.
Well, yeah. Then in my midfield, I had McAllister.
Oh, what a bad Premier League debut for Liverpool that was.
What a bad debut for me, to be honest. De Bruyne, again, I'm doing well here. Saka, which, again, amazing goal, so it would have been silly not putting him in anyway. And Matoma, who had a good game.
He did.
So, yeah, De Bruyne, injured. 25% chance of playing next week, it says. So I'm doing well here with the injured players. And, yeah, McAllister McAllister, I think it was in a position where I just wanted to spend like a decent amount of money on my midfield, hence De Bruyne and Saka. So kind of thought McAllister will do, but clearly he's not going to do based on that performance. So, and then up front I had Ferguson, who again scored for Brighton, so happy days, and obviously captained Haaland because who doesn't? I mean, the thing is with having Haaland is you're guaranteed the points most weeks. But does it make it slightly boring when every league that you're in with anyone, 99% of people are going to have Haaland and captain Haaland? I just think I love watching him play and I enjoy him being in the Premier League, don't get me wrong. But I'm kind of looking forward to the day when he's not around just for the sake of making it interesting. Because I feel like last season, not last season, when before Haaland was there, I just feel like going through everyone's teams and everyone had so much like different things going on, different players, whereas it's kind of predictable now that everyone's going to choose him.
You're making it sound like you want to kill the guy.
No,
you're looking forward to a time when he's not going to be here.
Don't, because I watched that video of him saying, what's that look for?
I don't know, I just mentioned murder. Like, oh yeah, watch that video.
No, not that kind of video. No, remember when he was like copying the northern accent? Who was he with?
Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish, yeah.
Jack Grealish like, all right there, pal.
No, not that one.
What?
The one where Haaland was like, he mimicked someone's accent in an interview. He sat there and he said a sentence and I kept showing it to you.
Oh, John Stones. The Louvre.
The Louvre, that's the one. So I'm a fan of Haaland. We've got off subject here. So yeah, as I was saying, my bench, Forster speaks for itself. Zinchenko was on my bench. Eze, 3 points there, and Wilson.
Callum,
the boy was there.
Why have you played 4 at the back?
I don't know. I just think maybe I looked at the fixtures and thought that was a wise decision for some reason. I don't know. I think my brain had a reason at the time that looking back on was probably stupid. So I don't know. I think that's like a lot of the time that's the formation I tend to go with.
You should change that.
I
don't know why I'm giving you points because this is an FPL showdown. Now looking ahead to game week 2, a transfer I'm going to make straight away just because he didn't play at the weekend. There was Zinchenko. I'm going to take Zinchenko out and hopefully if I've got enough money, I didn't check before sitting down, I'm going to put in Estepinian of Brighton because he is a very attacking fullback. I did like the look of Chilwell at Chelsea. He was up and down that wing like a seagull flying up the wing of a plane. I don't know why I said that, but there we go. He was up and down that pitch all day, well, until he came off, essentially. He looks like he's going to be a very good attacking outlet for Chelsea, but I don't think I'll be able to afford him, so I'm going to go for Estepinian. Let's see if I can do it while you talk about what change you're going to make.
I was going to say, mine's done. I'm usually, like, this is one thing that when me and Ross had a team together last season, we had a joint team, but then realised that if one of us, makes an error in our decisions, that it's, you doing well?
I can, yeah.
You can
it's
do
a
it.
5 million for Zinchenko and 5 million for Estepinian, so that's my change for the weekend.
Nice.
I'm just going to say how much Chilwell is actually while you continue talking.
Yeah, so I think we're in a position where, like, say I would say, oh, let's pick this person, and then they don't do well, and then we never argued. Let's be honest, it didn't get that far.
No, we only argued when it would come to a Monday morning. You would go, oh, why did you say to pick him? I don't have a crystal ball, Michaela.
So we've decided that this year it's best we have our own teams. I'm trying to remember where I was going when I started this.
You were telling
subject.
me about transfers you were going to do about this weekend.
Yeah, there we were. So I basically tend to get mine out of the way early because honestly, my memory's awful, so I'd rather get it done while it's all fresh in the brain. Whereas Ross is very much like, leave it till last minute and make a last minute decision. So I made the decision. Here's my situation I was in. I had Mings, who is going to be injured, and then De Bruyne, less injured, 25% chance of playing, but I thought, do I want to bring in a new defender or a new midfield? And it just made sense. Exactly.
Surely.
And with the price of De Bruyne, I thought I can bring someone decent in. I wanted Salah. I know that he didn't. Did he just go on the game?
No, he didn't score.
No, he didn't. He had one disallowed, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, usually, I know he has rough spells, but when he's good, he is very good. So I thought it's worth it, but I was too broke. So we didn't go down that road. So I've gone with Rodri. Which I thought, I don't think they're going to have an easy game against Newcastle by any means. I know Man City will be going into it as favourites, but I do not think it's going to be easy for them. But out of the options I had and what I could afford, I thought he was probably the best bet. I was tempted to put Wilson on, but I've kept Ferguson just because he had a strong showing in the last game. And I think everything else I've got the same. So I'm still in a bit of a mare where I've still got McAllister, I've still got Zinchenko, but you know what? I'm not taking any points hits this early on, so we're going to stick with it. Mings is going to live on my bench for a while he heals up, bless him. And we're going to make slow progress as the season goes on, and we'll see what happens.
And you're still going to pay with 4 at the back?
Well, I don't know, because I'm a bit...
I just looked, by the way, Chilwell's 5.6 million. I was a little price rise already after that. Sterling display up and down the wing. Sorry, I can't afford him. He's 0.6 million above budget for me.
Was it 2 transfers?
No, just 1.
But you just took a points hit?
No, I just looked at Chilwell just to see if he was affordable.
I'm stuck on Onana.
You're stuck anyway.
He does not want to leave my
screen. You're stuck below me in the league as well. Ha, 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 ha. But we'll move on from there. It is 1 point now, but it'll be about 500 by the end of the season.
You know...
What are you doing?
Maybe I'm having a swap around. Like, maybe what you're saying is...
You see, there's no thought process to this. It's just flying by the seat of her pants.
It's not that there's a lack of thought process. There is thoughts in there. It's just, that looks prettier, doesn't it?
And you're going to start Tomiyasu, even though he didn't start. Well, maybe the injury to Timber. Timber, down he goes.
It's him or Zinchenko.
Yeah.
So I feel like what's the best option here?
Is he not making it in your team?
I wouldn't know how... Well, that does make more sense to have Eze in there over McAllister, so I think...
I'm just asking, I'm not suggesting anything.
No, I know, but I think we're going to stick with... Yeah, the formation does make more sense. 3 at the back, 4 midfield. So I think Onana, obviously he's going to be in goal. Trippier, Botman, Tomiyasu, Matoma, Eze, Rodri, Saka, Haaland as captain, Ferguson and Wilson. I am debating the Haaland... The problem is I know if... I mean, Newcastle, like I said, they're not going to be an easy game by any means. So do I not captain Haaland and have Saka as captain against Crystal Palace? I don't know.
Brave.
It's one of the two, but I daren't change it because I've done it before. I've not captained Haaland. I've missed out on, say, 20-something points. And do I want to do that this early in the season when I think everyone's going to be captain Haaland?
It's up to you.
Are you captain Haaland?
I don't know, I might tell you. I am doing it, yeah. There's 2 changes going to happen in mine. I'm going to take out Zinchenko and put in Estepinian because he's got Wolves away and I think he do quite well at Wolves. Ferguson keeps his place up front as well because of that as well. Clivett drops to the bench. Diaby comes in. Everton are playing Aston Villa at Villa Park. So I reckon Diaby will cash in and get a few pointer-liciouses. But apart from that, that's my team.
Is there anyone you're looking at there who you think is going to have like a strong week or someone who's going to struggle maybe?
I would imagine Everton at home for Diaby is going to be a good one. I imagine I might make the change for Leno. Because Man United have Spurs away, which I think will be a tougher game than Brentford at home, so I might make the change in nets as well there. He's my sub-keeper, by the way. But that's it. Everyone else, I think, I'm hesitant about having 2 Newcastle defenders in against Manchester City away, so it's going to be one of Trippier and Botman. I think that Trippier will keep his place there just in case we get a set piece. He whips it in. Jamal Lascelles. Bosh. Bosh. He's not going to even start Lascelles. I know why I said his name. But I think that'll be the changes there. Just 2 changes for me. Diaby for Kluivert and then Estepinian for Zinchenko. And I think that wraps it up.
I think so.
We'll come back this time next week, let you know how we got on in game week 2, where I will still be above Michaela in the league tables. Let us know where you are in the Hold and Give Fantasy Football League. Where are you, by the way, in the Hold and Give Fantasy Football League?
Question.
Thank you for joining it. If you have done, I'm currently 211th.
I'm 220. So again, not far behind, but it's first week.
It is the first week.
We'll see what happens. Give it a few weeks, and I think we'll have a clearer picture of how this is going to pan out for the both of us.
And it'll be terrible for you.
You say that. I've got plans. They're up here. I'm keeping it to myself.
There's nothing up there apart from air.
There's not much.
There's not. While she comes to terms with that, we'll say goodbye and see you next week for this FPL Showdown.
Bye.